Greetings guys, girls, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I actually just filmed an intro for a video to watch a YouTube video with you all, and then I opened YouTube to go to the video that I planned on talking to you about. And I saw this in my recommended because I've completely ruined my recommended on this account. It's a video from our favorite conservative, our favorite man at the Daily Wire, Knowles, reacting to the Girls Like Girls music video by Hayley Kiyoko, reaching 150 million views. Now, I usually watch videos at least partially before I sit down and talk about them with you. This one I didn't know existed. I have no idea what he's about to say, but I can't see this video and not watch it and talk about it. So I'm unprepared, but I need to talk about it with you. And you want to watch it too, don't lie. We're all curious to know what he's about to say because it's 12 minutes long and I have no idea what to expect. That's what we're going to do today. But before we get into it, I would like to say a massive thank you to today's patron of the day, Ida. I appreciate all of your support so much. Thank you so much for joining and for supporting me. And I hope that you enjoy this video. And if anyone else would like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. It starts at as little as £1 a month. And if you want to hear more about it, then stick around until the end.
Hey, all you rock and roller, teeny bopper, hop sockin' kids. It's your old music maven here, Michael Knowles.
He's so annoying. Just his intros for music reactions are like the most cringe thing. Whoever writes these for him, like, time to go to 1.5 speed because I don't want to listen to him. So you have to watch it at normal speed. I don't.
I have been asked to put all of my cultural and musical expertise to the forefront for a song called Girls Like Girls. This is by the artist Hayley Kiyoko. An
absolute banger, by the way. I know we all know and love this song, but I just needed to put out my opinion, which is obviously, I love this song. I love Hayley Kiyoko. Moving on.
It has 149 million views.
As it should.
I bear no responsibility for whatever sort of deviant madness is going to ensue, but I will try to analyze this, and in so doing, analyze our whole culture.
He's so insufferable. He's so insufferable. This song is like years and years old. Why are you watching it and reacting to it now? This song is so old and it's been like a core foundation of like the queer community for so long. And he's now being like, I've never heard of this song. I've never seen it. So I'm going to judge our entire society based off of this song. What? Okay.
By the way, in my experience, girls hate girls. I have almost never met two women who genuinely like each other.
This man just says stuff. What do you mean girls never like girls? I've never met two women who actually like each other. That is an absolutely wild thing to say. That is a statement. Maybe women don't like you, and you're just like reading that as them not liking each other. Are you serious, Dwecky? Like, how many women are in your life? How many women are genuinely in your life that you have as friends? Where are you drawing this from? He just says stuff. Oh, this is a good song. I haven't listened to it for too long. I'm gonna go fucking stream the shit out of this song after this video. Stealing kisses from your missus doesn't make you freak out. I'm inserting myself here before he says anything. I love that this video is just all Disney girls. I love it. I've always loved it. It's fantastic. We have Michaela from Pair of Kings. We have Lexi from Ant Farm. And then obviously Hayley Kiyoko is Stevie from Wizards of Waverly Place. I love it. I love that it's Disney girls. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. He won't know that, but if he knew that, he would have a fucking like fit.
How is the boyfriend not noticing this very bizarre tension between his girlfriend and that other girl?
Because men are self-obsessed and they don't seem to notice that or think it's a problem, because why would their girlfriend be interested in a girl? Like, you wouldn't notice. I am 1,000% sure, Michael, that you would not have a fucking clue if this was happening right next to you. Because women don't like each other, right? You would think it's some weird feud. Don't lie. Don't sit here and think that you would know. Because you wouldn't.
Girls like boys do, nothing new. That's true. Lesbians have existed in the popular imagination for all of human history.
I'm glad he acknowledges that lesbians exist. So that's good. That's good, at least.
That all people are born with their other half out there. And for some people, some boys, the other half is a girl. Some girls, the other half is a girl. Some boys, the other half is a boy.
Did he just say that queer people are valid? I didn't expect that from this video. I did not expect some, like, lesbian, gay, queer, like, validation in this. He's just like, yeah, gay people exist. Sometimes your soulmate is someone of the same gender. I was not coming here expecting that. Okay, well, okay.
We could be everything that we would ever need. This is the sticking point, and I suspect that most people in our culture agree with this idea. Even the conservatives. The libs obviously do, who are promoting all this kind of stuff.
No one's promoting being queer. This is where they get real weird. No one is promoting being queer. People are just stating that you can be queer and it's okay to be queer and it's normal to be queer. Like, queerness existing in the media isn't the libs promoting being gay. It's just people existing and being like, hey, gay relationships exist too and are just as valid as straight relationships, which is what you just said, actually. You were like, everyone has a soulmate. Sometimes that soulmate is a gay soulmate, but then you have a problem with that being shown in the media. Like, you can't... That doesn't make sense. That's very contradicting to your own point. If they're just as valid in loving who they love, why does it matter if it's shown on TV? Like, what's the difference? Because you effectively just told me there is no difference. So what's the problem?
One can have a good life in consecrated celibacy. One can have a good life after the death of one's spouse. I'm not denying that.
You know what? I didn't expect to agree with him multiple times throughout this. I'm feeling really thrown. I'm so confused right now. Why has he said things that I agree with? That's never happened in one of these videos before. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. I'm glad, but also it's weird.
Men are made to be complementary to women. Women are made as complementary to men.
Okay, well, no one was made to be complementary to anyone. No one's made for that. We just are born and we exist. I'm not made to complement men and vice versa. I'm just made to be myself and exist as a person in the world. That's it. I wasn't made for any reason. I just exist.
And men and women are not the same. That's the big divide in our culture right now. Some people in our culture believe that men and women are exactly the same.
No one is saying men and women are the same, because if men and women were the same, then, like, it kind of invalidates being trans, right? Because if they're exactly the same, then that invalidates that, you know? It's this thing of, like, there are obviously differences between men and women, but they are not the boxes that we have created and defined. It is not gender roles. That is not the difference. There are obviously biological differences. And as discussed, that people would like knowles like to ignore, cisgender men and transgender men are more biologically similar in terms of, like, brain structure than cis women and trans men. Like, trans people are more their actual gender than their biological gender, you know? Like, obviously there are differences, but they aren't what you think they are. Social differences are constructed and created. It's a spectrum. We're all different. We all enjoy different things. And, like, we've just been forced into boxes over time. It's become very strict. Like, instead of just like, women typically prefer this, men typically prefer that, it's more just like you're forced to be like, no, women must enjoy this and men must enjoy that. And now we're just trying to break that down and be like, no, there's a whole bunch of middle ground, you know? And, like, personally, I identify a lot more with femininity and things that are more specifically feminine than the opposite. But, like, I also enjoy things from over here. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not the same as a man, obviously. I don't identify as a man. I don't identify with men. I am a cis woman. And, like, I'm not the same as men, but we are much more similar than you like to portray us to be. because we're all just people with our own preferences and our own interests and our own biological makeups. We're individual, you know?
And then the conservatives believe, no, we're actually born into society not as just these kind of undefined atoms, but with a real shape, with a body shape and with a role and with a purpose. And so we all have purposes. This leftist tears tumbler has the purpose of bringing delicious salty leftist tears into my mouth.
Yeah, we do all have a purpose, but our purpose is defined by what we believe our purpose to be. Our purpose has nothing to do with our gender or our, you know, biological makeup. Our purpose has nothing to do with the skin bags that we were born in. This body is a vessel for me. It doesn't define me. I define me. And my purpose is what brings me purpose, you know? It's what fulfills me. That's what my purpose is. My purpose isn't to fulfill some weird, like, assigned role that has been placed upon me from the moment I was born, because that's not fulfilling. And like, what is a purpose if it doesn't fulfill you?
Our bodies have a purpose too. In a male body, the purpose of our sexual organs is for the opposite sex, and specifically for procreation within the context of marriage, for the good of the spouses and the generation and education of children.
But you just said that gay relationships are valid. I don't understand you. You've lost me. I was agreeing with you a moment ago. You were saying that gay people are valid. You can have gay soulmates, and that's perfectly fine, and that's normal. So what are you talking about? Now I'm confused. You've lost me. I don't understand. Okay.
But as that goes away, then we're left with this rather shallow idea, which is that you and I, of the same sex or whatever, we can be everything that we need. But there is actually more to life than just girls.
I'm so confused. Girls can't be everything to each other. You have to have a man. But also, lesbians exist and have existed for a long time, and you can be lesbian soulmates. Which one is it? You can't say that marriage is between a man and a woman, and men are made to compliment women, and women are made to compliment men. 5 seconds after you're like, yeah, no, lesbians are real and lesbians are valid and they can be soulmates. What?
The vision of the music video is that boys are really terrible, and they're boorish, and they're stupid, and they're vulgar, and they're actually kind of abusive.
True. Yeah, that is the point. Yeah. Anyway.
This does speak to a serious aspect of lesbianism, which is that I'm not saying all girls who like girls that way, but for a disproportionate number of lesbians, they become lesbians after they suffer some kind of sexual trauma at the hands of men.
Some people become lesbian after they face abuse. I'm not going to say that's incorrect. I am going to say that those people are queer prior to that abuse happening. So like, you know, I'm a queer woman. I've suffered abuse from a man, and it made me more lean towards women. But then I was abused by a woman, and it's left me in this really confusing and weird place. Like, so like queer women who like all genders, who face abuse from men, are obviously going to be more cautious of men and then lean more towards women. Yes, I can't say that that isn't true. But saying that that's the case for a majority of lesbians and implying they were straight before that happened is not true.
Look at me, not her. What are you saying? What? How dare you do this to me? What are your...
Go off.
Oh yeah, that's realistic. This younger, presumably, and smaller girl is just beating up this bigger guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, that shit can happen. 1, she took him off guard, and 2, adrenaline and built up rage over the course of however long this relationship was will indeed make you do that. If she tackled him from the side like that when he wasn't paying attention, he very well could have hit his head on the concrete and been disoriented or knocked out before she started punching him. Like, it's not unrealistic for her to be able to do that.
Obviously, there is a lot of fantastical thinking going on and imagery going on in this music video, but the most absurd of all, and you see this throughout the popular culture, is this idea that small little girls can just, by virtue of their own brute force, beat up much bigger guys. That cannot happen. That does not ever happen.
Using the Powerpuff Girls there is so funny because that's their thing. They literally have superpowers. So obviously they can beat up bigger dudes. That's the thing. That's the point. And it's meant to be hyperbolic. It's meant to be an exaggeration. It's meant to be like, no matter how big your demons are, you are strong enough to fight them, you know? Like, get with it, all right?
And I talk to millennials, I talk to men, women, everybody.
Listen, I know that this was unintentional, but saying men, women, everybody implies that there are more than two genders, because there's men, there's women, and everybody. So you're saying everybody else too. You have to say everybody to include everyone. Good for you. That's progress. Good job. I know it wasn't intentional, but accidentally LA right there. Thank you, Michael Knowles.
This is one of the arguments for the Second Amendment, is that because men are much physically stronger than women, women need something to equalize the playing field if they're going to be out walking around alone, which would be a gun. And to tell women otherwise is just completely irresponsible.
But that argument is silly because you also think men should have guns. So like, then you're on an equal playing field again, aren't you? Also, men are more likely to have guns because men are more prone to violence. So are you trying to say that the Second Amendment should be women can be armed and men cannot be armed? Because that's the only way to balance the playing field, as you are implying here, that men have an upper hand already, so women need guns to defend themselves. But if he also has a gun, then he's on the same playing field, which is up again. So I don't you just say things without thinking about what you're saying, because that sounded anti-gun for men. That reminds me of that one BoJack episode. That one episode where women start arming themselves, and then they're like, oh, women have the same stuff as us. Women have guns too. That's a real problem. And that's what makes them ban guns, just because women are suddenly like equal. And they're like, we can't be having that. We have to get rid of guns now, because women being equal is the thing that they can't handle, not people dying from like mass shootings, which is so funny. It's such a good commentary on reality. BoJack is such a good show. I want to rewatch it, but I don't have Netflix anymore because they got rid of password sharing and I didn't want to pay for it.
And furthermore, the idea that this boyfriend would come out and just start beating up these women because they almost kiss. First of all, in our depraved day and age, the boyfriend would probably come out and get a kick out of it.
That is, unfortunately, true. The way that like him getting mad at her kissing a girl is like not good, obviously, but it's one of the rare instances where a man isn't biphobic within his relationship, you know? Like a lot of men are like, doesn't matter if my girl kisses a girl, that doesn't count. It's not cheating, it's hot. It's like, that's disgusting. It is cheating, actually.
Furthermore, that's not the reaction. The guy would probably be pretty peeved that his girlfriend is kissing anybody else, let alone a woman, or he might find it kind of titillating and weird. But the idea that the man would come out and just start punching women, that's absurd. That just is very unlikely to happen. I
don't think this man knows the rate of abuse towards women and how many women are abused and physically abused. Like, I don't think you know, man, there's a reason why women are so cautious of men. Because violence towards women is a really massive problem. And you can sit here and be like, not in America. Yes, in America. Yes, everywhere. Everywhere. It is a massive issue. And shit like this happens all the fucking time. Don't be ignorant, all right? It does happen regularly. That's why it's in the music video. Because it's an unfortunately realistic depiction of abusive relationships.
It's funny. They actually cover up the kiss. So they keep, whenever they go in for a kiss, they kind of turn their heads or it's covered up by the hair. And it doesn't seem believable. You can even see from the performance, this is unnatural.
Kissing someone you're not in a romantic relationship with or anything can just be an awkward thing that happens. It's not that it's unnatural, but they don't have that type of chemistry, so it's going to feel unnatural. The fact that they're two women has not got anything to do with the fact it doesn't feel natural. It's the fact that they aren't attracted to each other in that way that would make it seem unnatural. You know? There's nothing... You're missing the point, dude.
They allude to it, they kind of cover it up with the hair, then there's a hug at the end, because they know it's not the same thing as when Prince Charming rides up on the white horse and whips up the damsel in distress and plants a big smooch on her. It's not. It's different because men and women are different.
No. It's just a different story. The story of figuring out your sexuality and coming to terms with being queer is just very different from a straight love story where the two characters are straight and have never experienced that or been in an abusive relationship. Like, They're very, very different stories. It's got nothing to do with being unnatural. It's got everything to do with figuring yourself out and trying to become comfortable with who you are.
The existence of the abnormal is not an argument that which is normal either is not normal or should not be pursued. Girls might like girls, but they do not like girls like boys do.
Girls do like girls like boys do. That's the point of the song. You can't comment on that because, one, you're not a woman, and two, you're not gay. So, yeah, you are like, I don't like men in the way that women like men. So, therefore, no one does. Well, no, you just don't get it because that's not an experience that you've had. And like, sure, I guess maybe the way we like each other is different in the sense that like women feel emotions differently. Maybe, I don't know, girls like boys do. Okay, maybe girls like boys. Then is that better? Does that make you feel better about it? Does it make you feel better if I'm like girls in the way that some girls like boys? Is that better wording? Do you like that more? Yes, we're different, but also no, we're not. Yeah? No one was made for anyone. We're all made for ourselves and we're all figuring out life. And like, you can like who you want. And normalizing being queer, normalizing the abnormal is not the same as telling everyone they have to be abnormal. Being queer is not abnormal because a lot of people are queer. And as you say, queerness has existed for forever. And it's abnormal to try to say that is abnormal because it's obviously a natural occurrence. As you say, we all have a soulmate and sometimes that person is of the same gender. Yeah, so I didn't expect to have any point in this video being agreeing with him, but I agreed with him a couple times. I immediately took it back, but you know, I was surprised at first. This has been the video. That was interesting. It wasn't what I was expecting, but also was what I was expecting. He just likes to say things and he doesn't think about it. And there's no continuity because these people are all hypocrites and never know what they're actually fucking saying. Let queer people exist. Let them exist within the media because queer people are real, queer people are valid, and our love stories are valid as well. And showing queerness isn't encouraging queerness. It is just showing people it's okay to exist and that being queer exists and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not promoting anything. It's just saying it's okay to exist and be happy. All right? I'm glad we've got that out of the way. I hope that you enjoyed this video. A massive thank you to my Sprout and above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now. I appreciate you greatly. And a massive thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons, Toulouse, Bobby, Josh, Mandy, Robbie, Ikazel, Kai, Jessica, Eldo, Ida, Queer Corey, Raven, Danielle, Elias, Evie, Nix of the Eternal Night, JD Creeper, Rin, and Julie Case. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. For as little as £1 a month, you get my videos a day early, as well as podcasts a week early. And then for £3 and up, you get things such as bonus mini podcasts, outtakes, live streams, and more. I appreciate it so much. So thank you for all of your support. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, that Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.